Hey, what is going on? Matt O'Leary back with another video. Yes, we have already recapped training camp for today, but I thought it was worthwhile to put out another video reacting to the New York Jets' first unofficial depth chart. And it's important to note that this is nowhere close to what the finished product is probably going to look like, but we can react to it, talk about the biggest things from it so far, and maybe this will give you an idea of what you could expect in the Jets' first preseason game, which is coming up in just a few days. So let's go through. We're going to pull it up. We'll go over the offense first. We'll take a look at the defense and special teams and just talk about, again, the biggest storylines of where guys are, if you should panic, all the good stuff. And let's be real, no panic yet at this point. All right, let's pull it up. Thank you so much. All right, let's start this thing out. Quarterback 1 obviously is going to be Aaron Rodgers. Zach Wilson listed as QB2. Tim Boyle, QB3. Chris Strevler, QB4 after that. There is no Breece Hall yet at this point, so really not all that surprising that it is Michael Carter, Zonovan Knight, Izzy Abanikanda, and Travis Dye in that order as the first, second, third, fourth stringers. Fifth beyond that is, we'll see if Crockett gets much of a look. Nick Bawden is listed on the depth chart, and I did not include him in my 53-man roster prediction, but Aaron Rodgers likes a fullback. Nathaniel Hackett likes the fullback. It wouldn't be the most shocking thing if the fullback makes the roster, if the Jets do end up carrying one, but you're going to have to do some gymnastics at that point. Looking at the wide receiver positions. Okay, so the Jets starting wide receivers, they do it a little bit, not necessarily out of order, but they just do it slightly differently. So their starting wide receivers look like it's going to be Allen Lazard and Garrett Wilson, with Corey Davis there as well. Jason Brownlee's listed as a second teamer with Mecole Hardman and Irv Charles as second teamers. Xavier Gipson a little bit behind. Erickson's the fourth stringer. You also have Randall Cobb as a third stringer. Jerome Cap after that is a fourth stringer. Malik Taylor and TJ Luther. Interesting to see Randall Cobb so low on the depth chart. Today was the first time that he was active, so maybe that has something to do with it. That would be my best guess at that point. Two tight ends listed: Tyler Conklin, CJ Uzama as first teamers, Jeremy Ruckert and Kenny Yeboah as second teamers. Haven't seen a ton of CJ Uzama yet. There was one play, at least one play today, but the one that stands out to me was a little dump off from Aaron Rodgers that Uzama took and turned up the field. But Tyler Conklin's going to get a ton of run, and Jeremy Ruckert, I think, as a second teamer listed as right now. We'll see how much of a real shot he gets to make some noise. And I think he could push for a tight end too. He's been getting, worked in with the ones a decent amount. And we'll see how much he plays in the Jets Hall of Fame game this week. Now for the good stuff, the offensive line. As of today, again, subject to change, but as of today, the Jets starting offensive line: Billy Turner, Laken Tomlinson, Connor McGovern, Elijah Vera Tucker, and Max Mitchell. Okay, so let's start. Billy Turner listed as the starting left tackle. That will not be the case when Dwayne Brown comes back, but with no Dwayne Brown at this point, Billy Turner, the veteran, is getting the nod at left tackle, and Max Mitchell's getting the nod at right tackle. They have kind of flip-flop positions a little bit, Max Mitchell and Billy Turner, but they have gotten significantly more of the first team reps. So that's not crazy surprising at this point. Does that mean that's what it's going to be when camp breaks and that it's time for the regular season? Not necessarily, but I think Max Mitchell's had a good camp. We'll see how he plays in the preseason, and Billy Turner as the vet is going to get a look. No surprise with the guards, Laken and AVT. And Connor McGovern, the veteran right now, has the leg up on Joe Tippmann. Can Joe Tippmann eventually steal that spot? Yes, there's still a month to go, so we'll see if he's able to grab it. But Connor McGovern at center as the starter listed right now. That's not crazy surprising. You'll see most of the Jets rookies are buried on the depth chart, pushed back a little bit. So Mekhi Becton's listed as a second teamer. He will play in the preseason game on Thursday against the Cleveland Browns in the Hall of Fame game. So we'll see how he is able to hold up in that one. You'll see Joe Tippmann, which I'm excited about. What Schweitzer as well is someone that I like and I'm getting excited to get a good look at. But that's pretty much it, I think, on the offensive side of the ball. Not crazy surprising there from any of these guys. Maybe the only thing you could say is Randall Cobb getting pushed back. Billy Turner, you don't want to be your opening day starting left tackle, but that will more than likely not be the case. Dwayne Brown will eventually make his way back and get himself into the mix. As for the defense, all right, let's switch over. The Jets starting defensive line is listed as Carl Lawson, Quinnen Williams, Al Woods, and John Franklin Myers as the starting four. They will rotate a lot, but not a crazy surprise. That was what most people anticipated, although Jermaine Johnson has gotten significant reps with the first team defense, and I think will be heavy utilized. Their second team defensive line is better than a good chunk of teams starting defensive line, but Al Woods paired with Quinnen Williams, I think they're going to be dominant in the run game, the two of them together. We know how good Quinnen is. JFM and Carl Lawson are two of Robert Saleh's guys. He loves the both of them, and they are going to be the de facto starters with Jermaine rotating in. Solomon Thomas and Quentin Jefferson, you could do a lot worse on the interior there. And Michael Clemens, listed as an edge, but he also is going to play inside more. He's put on weight. He's up over 280 pounds. Which is, good because I think that is going to get him on the field more, playing on the interior with how loaded this defensive line is. And then, oh, by the way, on the third team, you have the 15th overall pick and Will McDonald and Bryce Huff, who is one of the most efficient pass rushers and edge players in the NFL, which is nuts that he's a third teamer. But they're just going to rotate these guys through. Linebackers, Jamie Sherwood, CJ Mosley, Quincy Williams. Those are their top three. Beyond that, Barnes, Surratt, Nasruddin. Surratt made a nice play at camp today, so I wanted to shout that out. We'll see a lot of those guys in the preseason, but the top three guys are the three that are listed, and we know for a fact that Quan Alexander will not be back as he signed with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but Jamie Sherwood is going to be linebacker 3 behind CJ and Quincy. Nickelback, no surprise. Nickelback. I like that. Slot corner is what I like to call it. Michael Carter, the second, was the starting slot with Javelin Guidry as the backup. You have Sauce Gardner and DJ Reed as your starters with Bryce Hall and Brandon Eccles as your second teamers. How about this? This is a little bit of a surprise. Jordan Whitehead and Tony Adams as the first teamers with Adrian Amos and Ashton Davis as the second team guys. We have talked about all offseason long how much the Jets staff loves Tony Adams. They love the guy. They can't get enough of him. And it's shown early in training camp as he is listed as a starter. Yes, they brought in Amos for depth, and I think he is going to get on the field, and I think he will play. But Tony Adams is going to freaking play a lot too. So I am definitely excited to see that and the vets get on the field. But Tony Adams, we'll see how good he can be in the preseason and how much run he gets in the first preseason game. Jarek Bernard Converse. Below that is the listed as a fourth teamer. He is going to be a little bit of a project, a converted corner who is going to end up playing safety. And then special teams, Zerline, Morstead, Holder is Morstead as well. As of this second, the number one punt returner and kick returner is Mecole Hardman, with Gibson, Erickson, and Crockett listed beyond that. I thought maybe you'd see Izzy, but I think it looks like Hardman is going to be the front runner for that job. So there we go. That is a first look at the Jets unofficial depth chart. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think of the Jets depth chart so far? Sound off in the comments below. I'm Matt O'Leary, and I'll catch you next time.